For all experienced dog breed owners, maintaining a high-maintenance dog is a walk in the park. It is not as hard as it seems for the new pet parents. For all that you'll know for now, these breeds for experienced owners make excellent companions if trained properly. So, let us begin. But before that, do not forget to hit the like and share buttons, and do subscribe to our channel for more. Number 11. The Australian Cattle Dog. Because they herd cattle by nibbling the heels, this dog breed is commonly referred to as the heeler. The English dogs were unable to endure the demanding working conditions in Australia, and the ranchers therefore crossed them with the local dingoes. The first Australian livestock dogs were created by the Australian settlers in the 19th century to assist them in herding sometimes unruly cattle. This breed has undergone numerous crossbreeding to produce its current iteration. An Australian cattle dog cannot be left unattended, and the heeler dogs require a job to keep them out of trouble and prevent them from becoming destructive, in contrast to other dogs who prefer to lounge around and relax all day. Make sure they're engaged in mental and physical activities that will exhaust them if you're not going to employ them for herding, and even if you intend to take a heeler for daily walks, forcing him to live in an apartment or condo is not a good choice. Will they require a house with lots of room for movement? And so, moving on to number 10. The Chow Chow. One of the oldest canine breeds still in existence is the Chow Chow. They are employed for the guarding, drafting, hunting, and herding when they were first domesticated in China for all-purpose dogs. They are one of the top breeds for experienced owners only. They serve as an illustration of dog breed whose distinctive appearance is beloved and whose novice owners frequently adopt. The concept of owning a lion dog with regal appearing appeals to many people. They are sometimes referred to as teddy bears due to their fluffy, chubby appearance, and they could resemble a large-scale replica of a cuddly kid's toy, but that's all about it. Chow Chows are very loyal to their family and possessions, and when introducing their pets to unfamiliar individuals, the owners should use caution. They aren't the soft teddy bears they appear to be, but yet they're typically content to unwind at home. Open displays of emotion aren't their thing, but they have a strong sense of family, loyalty, and they won't allow anything or anybody to stand in the way of the person they love. If training is begun at a younger age, the Chow Chows can be independent and obstinate, but they can develop strong bonds with their owners. The secret is to win the dog's respect and trust by employing the positive reinforcement, and if they believe the humans are not capable of serving as the family's alpha, they'll take over the role with little hesitation. Moving on to number 9. The Boerboel. The South African farmers need a dog that could withstand the terrain, the weather, and wild animals of the area. Their response was the Boerboel. The protection of the owner's property was the breed's top priority. The majority of the time, the work involved fighting off packs of ferocious baboons as well as leopards and other large predators. Even now, many farms in Africa and other areas of the world continue to raise the breed, and however, the breed retains its protective instincts even with the living outside of the natural habitat. They are devoted to the family and at best distant from the outsiders. They won't feel at ease going to your kid's baseball game with you or hanging out with you organizing a party in your living room. They seldom attack until provoked, and however, a Boerboel may interpret a person's pleasant welcome as a menacing action. You must be aware of a canine body language and be prepared in step when your dog exhibits uneasy behavior if you want to successfully integrate a Boerboel into the household. Controlling such strength is also difficult when the dog weighs the same as an adult person. Oh my goodness, can you believe that? Beginning early with the training and socialization is the best way to assimilate a Boerboel to family life. Let's go for number 8. The Katula leopard dog. The Katula leopard canine is a strong dog, a daring dog that has historically been employed to a hunting boar. One should not be owned by someone who has no knowledge or working breeds. Their size and power may quickly become daunting and are especially energetic dogs who require a lot of physical activities. Katulas need another way to release their energies if there aren't any wild boar around to wrangle with. Katulas require suitable cerebral stimulation in addition to finding an acceptable energy release, and they are renowned for them being independent, and if they're actively entertained, they'll walk off and find something else to do. They can be loving, but they don't feel compelled to be by their owner's side all the time. There is a considerate probability that your Katula is in difficulty if you don't know where they are. Although the breeds go along with the people and the kids, its background as working dog means that they are the only completely content when they are engaged in rewarding labor. They require continuous training and socialization to ensure that they develop into their position as a cherished family member, and thus they're not the dogs for people who love spending quiet time at home. Let's go for lucky 7. The Korean Jindo. The Korean Jindo is not the breed to choose if you're searching for a friendly, loving puppy, because it's one of the most feline-like dog breeds ever. Although they are devoted to their owners, they are more inclined to snuggle up nearby in their own lap. This is not a negative thing. For those who know the value, the privacy as well, it may well be preferred course of action. In addition to being hesitant towards the strangers, the Jindo has a little aggressive tendency and they frequently exhibit aloofness and caution. But they not only respond when they believe it to be their own course. Jindos are adopt-riveteurs, and the family of a Jindo must be committed to keeping their pets out of the mischief. They have the ability to escape supposedly the safe places on their own. They aren't frightened to go exploring on their own because of their inherent independence. They favor independent thoughts. Being made to do something they would prefer not to do might cause the frustration and the behavioral problems. The Jindo is typically not friendly towards the other dogs. They typically do not fit into household with cats or small animals, and due to their intense prey drive, they require a skilled household and a trainer that executes confidence. Now for number 6. The Patterdale Terrier. Despite their little size, the Patterdales are quite strong and the average weight is less than 15 pounds. Yet, when it comes to hunting and stalking, they are a terrifying predator. These dogs are bred almost entirely for their working aptitude and particularly popular in England. They're bred to hunt and catch the vermin like foxes, the raccoons, and the groundhogs, and are typical terriers. They should not be trusted with other animals as a result, even dogs, as they frequently attack them as though they prey. The typical Patterdale is a brave and self-assured dog who needs continual control. Although many people believe that little dogs are simple to handle, the Patterdales are not those kinds of dogs who readily comply with commands. They were developed as autonomous hunters and still prefer to operate alone when not in the woods. A dog breed that has been bred for a specific manner and now finds it difficult or impossible to deviate from the path from the predators were placed into the Patterdale. They are doing precisely what they were bred to do, dig up in the yard in the search of the ground dogs, and thus they are not breaking any laws here. The problem is that they require owners who are prepared to appreciate their in-street traits while offering a lot of mental and physical stimulations. Now moving on to number 5, the Akitas. The Akita is a large Japanese breed that was bred to hunt big game like bears and wild boar. They have also been distinguished as a history of serving as the personal guardians of the Japanese nobility. These large canines can weigh up to 130 pounds and may easily outnumber a human. It might be challenging to restrain them if you get the perception that a certain individual possesses a threat. The majority of the time, an Akita has the best of intentions and wants to defend the people they care about or themselves, but untrained Akitas may be unpredictable. These dogs are self-sufficient, reserved around the strangers, and fiercely devoted to the families. They are not the kind of dogs who will eagerly meet strangers at the neighborhood coffee shop or wag its tail in greeting as the mailman, and their distinct sense of humor when among the individuals they feel at ease, but will take more of the simple hello or win over an Akita. Akitas normally want to be the sole canine member of a family, and the same-sex hostility with other dogs is frequent. They require the proprietors who are flexible enough to accommodate their wants and preferences, and Akitas are big, strong dogs who guard them properly and are not advised for owners and don't want them to be in constant control of their canines. Let's go for number 4. The Belgian Malinois. The Belgian Malinois is a popular breed for use in the military and the law enforcement settings. They are excellent prospect for the variety of duties including water rescue, bomb sniffing, protection, and weapon detection because of the strong work ethic. Their high intellect, attentiveness, and dedication to their owners and are all admirable qualities for a working dog, and are their nature to urge, to train, and stay active all the time. However, those other characteristics might be challenging to control when it comes to being a family pet. They are not always gregarious house dogs because they are almost exclusively developed for their working prowess. Malinois prefers to remain active all day long rather than relax with their family on the weekends. The untrained Malinois could use their defensive instincts instead of smiling and greeting the neighbors who enters your yard. The majority of the dog owners are willing to spend the time necessary to teach the puppies the fundamental commands like the sit and shake, but not everyone is prepared to make the effort required to raise a Belgian Malinois. This breed may become neurotic, disruptive, and occasionally violent if it doesn't get enough mental and physical exercise. Although these dogs will keep their owners on their toes, they may be one of the most rewarding breeds to possess if trained properly. Now for number 3. The Border Collie. Due to their temperaments not being idle for anyone searching only a family companion, the Border Collies are now one of the most adaptable working dogs. This breed requires employment, and herding the family's cattle has always been the responsibilities. Today, they participate in nearly whatever the families make accessible to them, including their agility, obedience, flyball, and they are still welcome to work on farms all around the world. If they do not have a suitable outlet or a designated task, they'll crate on their own, and the imitate to urge the herd will cause them to herd offsprings in the counterproductive ways. Without adequate training, they frequently use nipping and forceful behavior to control their charges. Additionally, they can believe that destroying every pair of shoes in your wardrobe in their life's work, and they're challenging to keep up. If you get behind, they'll get out of control and become destructive. Number 2. The Tibetan Mastiff. As we know, the most expensive dog in the world. The history of this breed before to the 19th century is not well known. The Tibetan Mastiffs originated in the Tibet, were bred to protect property and cattle, and they're said to have existed for many centuries and were related to Mastiff-type canines that were thought to have originated in Tibet 5,000 years ago. It's not simply their size that makes this breed difficult for the experienced owners. The Tibetan Mastiff is an independent guard dog with a tendency to disobey orders. In fact, this breed frequently does poorly in the obedience test. You cannot just leave a Tibetan Mastiff outside at night even if you build them a cozy dog home. This breed craves the company of the humans, and they'll undoubtedly bark until you get out of bed and make them take inside. Mastiffs require a capable handler who exudes confidence. You can't have guests over because of the strong territorial instincts, especially noisy young children. Last but not the least, the Great Pyrenees. The Great Pyrenees is a dog that helps you feel secure in your own house. A sheep guard dog known as a Pyrenees originated in the Pyrenees Mountains, which served as a natural border between the France and the Spain. People refer to them as the Pyrenees Mountain Dogs in the UK and the majority of the Europe. Pyrenees who enjoy the sound of their own voice can easily imitate who those do not like the noises and talkative animals. Everything is genetic, because dogs were created to fend off invaders of all kinds and the bark. Even while Pyrenees like kids and many people feel safer at home with the one, You must teach them from a very early age since they can grow to be unmanageable. Without the adequate socialization, a Great Pyrenees can develop into a very timid and aggressive dog. Positive reward, consistency, and patience are all necessary for the training of the Pyrenees. This makes them very clever pup and a perfect fit for an experienced dog owners only. Well, hope you have liked this video on the dog breeds for experienced owners. Stay with us for more amazing videos on dogs, and until then, enjoy with your dear paw pal.